Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
What's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again, and it's time for the weekend banger. That's a lot, y'all. It's time for the weekend banger. It's time for the weekend banger, and I got one. I keep a banger at all times. But like I always say before I start these videos off, man, I have no problem delivering this content to everybody that's out there working hard, working a 9 to 5, everybody that's out there with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I make sure y'all got something to watch in the morning time, and I promise y'all, there's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I only ask for one thing in the process, and that's for y'all to just stay out the way, man. That's it, man. I want you to love your life. That's all I want you to do, man. Because when we get in trouble and leave our family and go to jail or prison for years and all of that, man, we're not loving ourselves, man. We definitely not thinking about the people that love us. We out there doing crazy stuff, man, not thinking about nothing. So we got to just use our brains, man, 2026, and just tighten up. Like a lot of stuff that we be doing, if we think about it before we do it, we probably wouldn't do it, man. I know when I was young, wilding out there in the streets, man, like, if I would have thought about what I was doing, I wouldn't have done it. I'm telling y'all, man, I just was doing stuff just to be cool, just trying to fit in, just try to just get quick money. Like, that's not always the key, man, because at the end of the day, what I have learned is that you're not going to be able to enjoy this stuff at the end of the day, man. Even Big Meech got locked up, man. They put Big Meech behind bars for 20 years. So, like, nobody's getting away with anything, man. That's my whole point, man. So, if you out there in them streets, man, just turn your life around, man. Do the right thing, y'all. That's it. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is the weekend banger game. So what y'all do with this one? Like, share, subscribe, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. What? It's time for business. Time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called CO Creature. Crazy story, crazy situation, but we are aware, people. We in penitentiary, man. Well, crazy things happen all the time. I'm letting y'all know now, man. They have officers in there, man. They give people hard times for no reason, man. Like, they get off for just seeing you suffer. Like, they look at you like, yeah, you're in prison. I'm gonna make your time even worse than it was supposed to be, man. And it's sad when you got officers that do that, man. Like, you have officers that come in there and do their job, and they understand that dudes are in there. You know, they like, we are in the worst place that it can be. So, like, don't make it even worse, man. Like, you have COs that think like that. And you have the other ones that want to make your time hard. They want to make it like they want to teach you their own personal lesson, man. Just because they have the you know what I mean? The authority and the right and the badge and all of that stuff, man. It's a crazy situation when it goes down like that, y'all. So with that being said, though, we on Lawrenceville for this one, y'all. We on Lawrenceville. And I can remember being in 40 building for this one, man. The second time around, man. This is like around the time when I'm about to slide, man. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Soon I'm getting transferred, man. Like, but at the end of the day, man, like, I'm just coming off, man, being in a play with a dude, man. I was rocking with from the red team, man, and the play got dry. And for real, I wasn't mad that the play went dry, but it was like I still had work at the end of the day when the play went dry. But still, when the play went dry, I couldn't even complain, man, because I just felt like that was a sign from God to be like, yo, sit your butt down. It's time for you to go to the crib. Like, a lot of people in that pod that knew me and everything didn't know that I was really short. And when I say I was short, I'm still got like 2.5 years left or something like that. But to a dude that been locked up over 15, you know what I mean? Like, that's nothing. That's nothing to complete right there. So that's basically short when we say in penitentiary, like when you about to go to the crib. So that's how I'm moving around at this particular time in the pod. Now, I got stuff in my cell, man. Like, I'm in there doing all the wrong things. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, me and my homeboy got the jiggle box. Like everything is smooth right now. I ain't even gonna lie. Everything is going smooth, and like, I'm really starting to feel like I'm short. Like, I'm feeling like, yo, like, I'm gonna be home soon. Like, I'm about to be to the crib soon, man. I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like, I seen Ballhead coming out of pod. He got out the hole, ended up striking in our pod. I was able to kick it with him before he went home. And when I seen him go home, it was like, it was crazy because, like, you know what I mean? I knew I was next. I always knew I was going home before, bro. It's just, I've been gone for a minute, like, you know what I mean? So, like, it didn't feel like I was right there, but it felt like I was right there. If y'all get what I'm saying, like you got to be in my shoes to understand. But at the end of the day, man, I'm still in big mode. That's what I'm doing, man. So like everybody that's in the pod, like everybody got their own stuff going on. Like it's still penitentiary in 40 building, you know what I mean? I'm in 41 pod. It's still stuff going on in there. And like everybody that's in there moving around, trying to get some money or whatever the case, man, like they kept it quiet. Like that's why that pod was basically just like how 33 pod was when I was in 30 building. Like it was people in there trying to get money. Even the young boys was on the type of time to get money. Everybody was trying to get bread in there, and that's just what you're supposed to do. I ended up just lucking up with my homeboy that was a red team member. He ended up getting a route with his peoples on across the yard, and we was able to get a few zips in a loud pack. So it was like our stuff was decent. Like we hit a couple times, so I still had leftover work and everything. So I was straight. Y'all already know I'm pacing that like I ain't trying to sell everything. I'm selling it, but I'm not selling everything, man. So I'm basically in chill mode right now, y'all. Y'all can see I'm in chill mode right now, man. So I ain't even gonna lie, like the officers they would have working over there, majority of them was cool, but I don't care what building you at. Every building is gonna have an a-hole or two, and that's just how I go down. Now, I can remember this lady, man, she came out of nowhere and started working 40 building, y'all. When I say nowhere, she came out of nowhere because she wasn't one of our permanent officers. But something that happened with a lady that was working out building, I wanna say she got pregnant. And usually when you get pregnant, like you'll still see like these ladies maniacs, man. Like I hate to say that, but when these ladies get pregnant, they'll still come work prison. Like they'll think just because they in the booth or they'll put them somewhere, like you know what I mean. But at first, on Sussex 2, I would still see the COs working the booth when they pregnant. Like I didn't think you're supposed to be nowhere around that. But on Lawrenceville, I think they'll put you somewhere else when you get pregnant or something like that. I could be wrong, or maybe they'll tell you got to take leave. I don't know. I don't know what the procedure is at the end of the day. But the lady that used to always work our booth in the evening time, she stopped working our booth. So we saw that we had a void open from the lady not being there because they started just letting anybody come work that joint. I guess just putting anybody into that, you know what I mean, that position. So we seen like, yo, the lady must be gone. And then we had got the word that she ended up getting pregnant. So for like a week, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, for like a week, man, like we had just different officers working the booth. Then they'll, you know, that first they'll work the booth, they'll come work the floor. So we had a different officer every play. But we finally got a permanent officer. And usually like it'd be people that didn't train, it'll be a new person, a rookie or something like that. But this lady just popped up out of nowhere and nobody knew her. All I know is, man, when they was doing shift change, when we was outside, I looked and I seen the people that was coming in 40 building because I'm on the yard. But I seen who was coming in and I seen this kind of like short, fat lady, man. And like, you could tell even with her hat on that she had a low cut, you know what I mean? She had a low cut and like, I ain't gonna lie, man, she had some bumps on her face and like she had a big face. Like she just, I ain't gonna lie, she was hit. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man, she was hit. But at the end of the day, like, you know, I'm at the point where I don't care how you look, what you got going on. I don't care about none of that. You know what I mean? Even though I'm riding dirty and everything, because I'm still in big mode, but I really don't care, y'all. So seeing how ugly this lady looked, man, like it didn't really like even give me a sense of joking. Like I didn't even want to joke or nothing. Like I just seen who was coming in our joint. Dudes were like, yo, that's the people that's coming in our joint. So when we come in, they do shift change. Like, so shift change already switched by the time rec was over with. So when we coming back into the building, we see the lady, she's standing in front of the joint, you know what I mean? So I get a good look at her. I'm like, man, she hit. She was probably like 5'2". Like she was super short. I ain't gonna lie. She was like 5'2", big, you know what I mean? Super hit in the face, had the low cut game. I'm just looking at her like, man, that's crazy, man. So we walk in. She ain't saying nothing to nobody when we walk in. So everything was straight. So everybody, like when we got in the building, everybody was like, yo, who was that? Like, I ain't never seen that lady. So, you know what I mean? We just kept on going what we was doing. So I went in the bar, I went in my cell, chill for a minute. Everybody was asking the same question. Yo, who was that new lady? That everybody, I don't know. I don't know who she is, man. That's my first time seeing her. Dudes were like, did she work the other side of the yard? I'm like, I don't know. Like, that was the question that everybody wanted to know. Where did this lady come from? So she come in and do a round. So when she come in and do a round, just so happened that people were still talking about who was this lady. So when she come in and do her round, I'm on the bottom tier in this pod, by the way. I'm on the left side. As soon as you come into the pod, I'm on the left side of the back wall. I'm on the left side of the cells on this side of the wall. You know what I mean? You know, it's the left and the right side and the back wall. I'm on the left side when you walk in. I'm like the fifth cell, you know what I mean? I'm closer to the steps, like right over there. So she come in and do her rounds. Me and my homeboys, we all standing right there. Like basically like not too far from under the steps and everything. So she come do her round. When she come do her round, she was like, look, ain't no working out in here. And there was a dude that always be working out. Like he'll work out, he'll do the steps, and then he'll do the pull-ups, you know what I mean? Like he would work out everywhere. Like it was crazy because he'll do his pull-ups off the top tier. Like, you know what I mean? He'll get something to climb up on, put a blanket like on the little sharp part, you know what I mean? With the top of the stairs, like upstairs part as that, and he'll jump up that joint and do his pull-ups on it, you know what I mean? Off that joint. So nobody never complained about him doing this because he would do his workout. He'd have a shirt on. He wouldn't be doing no maniac stuff. So no officers ever complained about this. So she comes straight in and was like, you can't work out in the pod. That's when we first heard her voice. She was like, you can't work out in the pod. She sounded like she was like barking at him. She was like, you can't work out in the pod. Ain't no working out in the pod. So he jumped off the joint. Boom. He moved his CL20s. He was like, what you say, shorty? Bro was from the R, by the way. He was like, what's up? She was like, you can't work out in here. He was like, look, I'm almost done. What you talking about? She was like, no, if you get back up there, I'm gonna write you up. I'm gonna write you up if you get back up there. I'm letting you know now. I'm gonna write you up. All right. And she just kept walking. Everybody was looking like, who is this lady, man? That's my word. She walking around looking super hit. Then she get around, she gotta go up the steps. Man, I promise you, man, she went up the steps like this. She couldn't even run up the joint. She was like, she looked like a slimy worm, y'all. So boom, going up the steps looking at her ugly. I'm like, oh, so she go up the steps. She do her round. She leave. I go to the next part. So everybody like, yo, who this ugly lady that done brought here, man? I'm like, man, I don't know who she is, man. I don't know who she is, man. So they like, stand by for dinner. Stand by for dinner. So we don't stand by for dinner. So everybody getting ready. I forgot what was over there to eat, but everybody's going. I'm definitely going. So everybody get their stuff. Everybody standing out in the pod. So we see 42 pod go first. You know what I mean? After they left, 43 pod left. So we last. So they call us. So we coming out. So me and my man coming out. You know what I mean? Me and my man coming out the joint. So I'm kind of late a little. We not late, but he be like in the back a little bit in the like last bit of people that's coming out. So like we walking out. The dude from the he coming out. You know what I mean? So he looking like he was rushing, like he trying to go get his tray, eat real quick, come back, hop in the shower. So he was moving fast. So as we coming out the door and we moving, he got his shirt untucked. Bro never tucked his shirt in, to be honest with y'all. Dude from Richmond, he never tucked his shirt in. So we walking, she like, tuck your shirt in. Tuck your shirt in before you go in that child hall. Tuck your shirt in before you go in that child hall. He was like, man, you don't carry your creature looking ass shoulder. And just kept walking. She was like, who said it? What you say? What you say? So I'm like, I was like, yo, I said, yo, bro, sis, you look like a creature, bro. I'm like, yo, but I'm saying that to my bro. I'm like, yo, bro, sis, you like a creature, man. I'm laughing. She like, who, you said it? You said it? I was like, and she pointing at me. I'm like, hold on, time out. I was like, hold on, time out. Then I looked at her name tag. We're gonna call this lady right here Miss Watson. My word. I was like, hold on, look. I said, listen, Miss Watson, I ain't say that. What you talking about? She was like, nah, you said I look like a creature. You think I look like a creature? Would you talk about your mama like that? Would you talk about your grandma like that? You gonna die? That's how you talk to people. I'm like, I'm looking at her like this, my word, man. Cause I'm like, in my mind, I'm baking her in my mind. I'm like, man, you don't care your John Henry off WWF looking ass, man. You hit, goddamn it, look like a goddamn burnt up polar bear in the damn face, man. I'm like, but I ain't saying this up close. I ain't saying this on her face. I'm just like basically baking her in my head. But I'm like, she putting all this on me. I didn't even say that she looked like a creature. So dude from Richmond laughing, he dipped. You know what I mean? So she like, give me your ID. I'm like, man, I ain't giving you my ID, man. She was like, you gonna give me your ID? You gonna give me your ID? I'm like, listen, I'm not giving you my ID because I ain't say nothing to you, man. So I just like, come on, bro. Me and bro just can't walk. She was like, all right. She dipped. I seen her leave her post. So I'm like, so we go eat. We come back. When we come back from eating, I walk in the building. As soon as I walk in the building, I go to my pod. When I go to my cell, I'm like this. I'm about to turn around and tell the lady, open my door. I'm like, yo. When I look, I see CO Creature sitting in the booth. What's she doing in there? But as I see, she writing something down. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what's this about? What's going on with this lady, man? So I'm sitting in the pod, man. I was like, man, that John crazy. So she didn't say nothing to me for the rest of the day. So dude from Richmond that be working out, he like, yo, Weezy, you crazy, bro. He was like, yo, Weezy, that's crazy, shorty. He was like, man, that lady crazy, man. I was like, man, I ain't got time for that lady mess, man. I was like, I don't really care, bro, about that lady, man. You know what I mean? So we laughed about it a little bit. So when she leave. When she leave, man, it's my word. I'm in the cell chilling. I mean, relaxing. I mean, the door pop, just like right after the count and everything, the door pop. I'm like, jump up. I'm like, I look at my roommate, he looking at me, I'm like, what's up? He like, I don't know. I go to the door and look. I see the little hearing officer dude, the inmate dude. He like, hey, Weezy, come on. I'm like, come on, what's up? He like, you got a charge. I'm like, I got a charge? I was like, who wrote me up? He was like, look, we about to find out. And I look, I seen the lieutenant out there, you know what I mean, that be passing the charge. So I'm like, I got a charge. So I walk out there, I'm like, shh. You know what I mean? Y'all know I'm about to go to the crib. Like, I really can't stand, even though I'm in there riding dirty. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I'm in there doing the wrong thing. But still, though, I can't stand a charge, y'all. So, boom. But I'm about to go see what's going on, though, man. So I get to the joint. Lieutenant like, what? I'm like, yeah. He like, look, you were written up for being disobedient. He said, I forgot what the word was, for being insubordinate, calling somebody and saying they look like a creature in the face. He was disrespectful. He didn't have his shirt. I was like, listen, I said, LT, look, this word on everything. I had my shirt tucked. I said, stop right there. He was like, what? I said, man, listen, I didn't say nothing to this lady, man. I said, I laughed at the joke. He said, who said it? I said, what? He said, look, I ain't got time for who did and C shared and he did what. He said, look, you either gonna try to fight it or you gonna, I was like, look, man. I said, look, I'm about to go to the crib, man. He said, when you go home? I said, man, I go home 2017. He was like, I said, look, I ain't even getting no charges, man. I said, man, I ain't say nothing to this lady, man. You better talk the goddamn Beetlejuice in the goddamn face, man. He was like, man, go ahead with that white. I was like, look, for real, LT, man. I ain't do that's word on everything. He was like, look, she knew. She knew, but she y'all floor officer, though. I'm letting you know now. She y'all floor officer. She y'all floor officer now. He was like, she used to work at another camp, but she over here now. She y'all floor officer. I was like I wasn't happy to hear that either, but I'm like, yo, listen, I ain't do it, though, man. He was like, all right, well, look. I'm gonna talk to her, man. We're gonna find out what's going on exactly. You know what I mean? He was like, if anything, I'm gonna get rid of the charge for you, white. I was like, man, I appreciate that, man. So I got it, went back to the cell. You know what I mean? But like on the low, I was angry on the low because I'm like a CEO got it out for you, man. I'm letting y'all know now it's not a good feeling, man. So I went back in the room, told my celly, like, yo, lady wrote me up. You know what I mean? On some humbug. I ain't even say nothing to her. She threw a secret indictment at me. Like, what is going on here? So he like, yo, that's crazy. He like, everybody was baking that lady, man. He was like, everybody was baking that lady, man, because she had on some fake Reebok classics. I'm like, man, go ahead, man. So he was like, look, when she come back to work, you gotta look at her shoes, bro. I was like, I said, when she walk, I barely can see them joints looking like a goddamn burnt up ass hip hole in the face. I said, man, I ain't got time for this lady, man. I was like, man, this junk crazy. So I was like, yo, when she come back to work tomorrow, I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna cop a plea. Like, I don't got no beef with this lady, man. I was like, she ugly as hell, but I ain't got no beef with this lady, man. He was like, yo, that's my roommate, funny, a little young boy. He was like, yo, we whistle. Hey, look, that junk crazy, man. He was like, man, dude, for Richard to say shorty look like a creature. He was like, man, she do though, whistle. I was like, man, she do look like a damn creature in the face, man. She do look like a goddamn, the last person on a goddamn space machine gun video game, goddamn it, like Doom or something, goddamn. She like a boss off Doom in the face. She also, boom, ugly ass, man. I'm gonna fry her ugly ass. She better leave me alone. So I was like, man, tomorrow, I don't know if I'm gonna say something to her. I might not, but I'm gonna see though. I'm gonna check the temperature, man. So the next day came. I couldn't wait to see her ass. When she came to work, I couldn't wait. I seen her. You know what I mean? I just gave her a long look like, this junk crazy. So when I'm looking at her like this, she's looking back at me. You know what I mean? She's looking back at me. I'm like, shit, wild as a bitch. So so we just looking at each other, like we kind of just gritting on each other. But I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna feed into that. I was like, this maybe not a good time to talk to her. This maybe not be a good time to talk to her. But as the rest of the day went on, man, I guess the lieutenant had said something to her. So I'm standing out in the pod. Then I hear somebody say, white. I was like, they was like, yo, they want you in the counselor office. I'm like, what is this about? I'm like, what is? So while I'm going out there, there's another dude walking out there, but I had my headphones on, so I didn't even hear who they was calling. So when I look, I see the dude I see it's another dude coming out there. Not the dude from Richmond that called her a creature. It's another dude. So me and him walking out there. You know what I mean? We're gonna call him Vic. So we walking out that joint scene. I'm like, what you going out here for, Vic? He was like, I don't know. They told me to come to the counselor. I said, me too. So we get out the joint. I see the lieutenant. Lieutenant was like, look, I threw your charge out, and I threw your charge out, man. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. Y'all need to make peace with this lady. You know why? Because she about to be y'all sergeant anyway in this building. She already got experience. She just got to train as a CO, and then she gonna be a sergeant. She about to be a sergeant, so you need to make peace for her. You need to make peace with her. She's in the office right now. Who gonna go first? So I was like, so I'm thinking like, what did you talk about? Like, I'm feeling like the type of time I got, I really don't care about these situations that he's talking about. But at the same time, though, I don't really want beef with somebody that's about to be a sergeant. Y'all know I'm riding dirty right now. You know what I mean? So I'm like, it's just crazy, man. So I'm just looking, I'm like, man, I'll go first, man. So when I'll get ready to walk in, she was sitting at the desk. She was like, no, you come in too. You come in too, Vic. So dude walked in. We all both walked in. The lieutenant came in too. You know what I mean? She was like, I got it from here. The lieutenant was like, you good? She was like, yeah. He peeled. So he peeled. She was like, look, I'm not going to be going back and forth with y'all right now. Y'all not going to be disrespectful for me. Y'all not going to be disrespectful to me because I heard that you are a good guy and I heard that you are a good guy. But I don't like dudes that be disrespectful to me, man. I've been getting jokes since I was in elementary school and they don't bother me. I don't care. To hear somebody admit that they've been getting boot smoke with the joking game since elementary or whatever the case, man, like was wild. She was like, look, So I don't care about the jokes. The jokes don't bother me. It's just when you get disrespectful, that's when I'm gonna write you up, when you get disrespectful. She was like, I need y'all to help keep people in line. That's what I need y'all for. So I'm like, to help keep people in line? She was like, yeah, because I'm looking for new workers. I'm about to hire me some new workers, and I want good workers. And the good workers gotta help me keep the building right. They gotta help me keep the building right. So, White, I know you from Norfolk. She was like, and I know White. She said, and I need y'all to help me keep the building right. So I'm listening. I'm like, I wasn't expecting this conversation. I wasn't expecting for her to come with this type of angle. You know, the more she talked and the more I looked at her in her face at a close angle inside of something that was like an office that was secluded from everybody, the more I saw she did look like a creature, y'all. So boom. So I didn't know about doing this right here, man. Plus y'all know I'm about to go on. But the only thing that made me consider it was I got a phone. My homeboy got to work. I got work. Like, I'm trying to make sure everything's straight. So I might gotta play along just for as long as possible. Like, I don't know how this gonna play out, but I gotta play along with this joke still though, man. Now, CO Creature, she looking for people that's gonna be state struck. I already know she is, but like, I done seen a dude get this type of position on Susses and flipped it on him. You know what I mean? You can't be somebody that just gonna do everything for them. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? I might take this job or whatever she's talking about giving us and just see what it's talking about, man. Because at the end of the day, I'm not a police. I'm not someone that's going to police the inmates. I'm not doing that. So I don't know what she's thinking. That's not my character. But I'm like, I'll play along for the time being. So I was like, all right, what we got to do? She was like, look, I'm going to give y'all the job. I'm going to give you the job and I'm going to give you a job and y'all be working together. So I'm like, this junk crazy. So Vic like, that's what's up. So I ain't got that charge no more. She was like, nah, you ain't got that charge no more. But that'll be the last time she put her hand in his face like this. She knows she's short. She said, that'll be the last time that you call me ugly. I'm telling you. She said, because you called me a creature, White, and he called me ugly. And that'll be the last time you two disrespect me like that. I'm like, man, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I didn't say it. I'm still sticking to, I didn't say this to this lady. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm like, all right, that's what's up, man. She's like, all right, you can go. I'll be letting y'all know something soon. You can go. All right. So me and Vic walked out the office. So when we get back to the pod, we was standing at the door trying to get the door. We was like, shh, I'm hitting the button. I'm like, yo, bro, what do you think that's about? He like, I don't know what that's about, Weezy, but at the end of the day, I'm about to try to hit her ugly ass. I was like, what? He was like, man, I'm telling you, man, that's how they usually stop. They act like they don't like you. They act like they hard to get. They act like they're the cops. And then you spring it on them that you like her. He was like, you like her? I was like, bro, hell no, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, I wouldn't give a damn. She had her legs wide open like this in the office and be like, come hit me, man. I'll probably be like, hell no, y'all, so boom. I don't like her like that. She was that ugly. I'm being honest with y'all, man. This lady look like she stink under them clothes, man. I'm being honest with y'all, but dude, Vic acting like he got a crush now just because she talking about giving him a position in the game. You know what I mean? Because she talking about giving him a position in the pod. So I'm like, nah, bro, I don't like her, bro. Like, that's, you know what I mean? He was like, yeah, that's what's up, dude. He was like, well, look, you'll be able to hold me down. He was like, man, I'm telling you, man, she a freak, man. She a freak, bro. I'm telling you, bro, she a freak. I'm like, man, I don't know, bro. Like, bro, she looked more like a damn space animal in her face. I was like, but that's on you, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, for the time being, bro, like, I'm just trying to stay out the way, make a little money, bro, and just chill, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He was like, yeah, that's what's up. But like, as long as we work together, everything's straight. Like, everything's straight. So me and him docked up, went our own way. So when I went back in the pod, like, everybody was like, what's up, White? Everybody was like, what's up, Weezy Straight? I was like, yeah, I'm good, bro, I'm good. You know what I mean? Everything was straight, you know what I mean? So I went upstairs and hollered at my homeboy that we got the jack with, you know what I mean, on the red team. So I go holler at him. He was like, what's up, you good? I'm like, yeah, bro. I said, say word. The lady who we got into it with, I was like, man, she trying to give me a job, bro. He was like, for real? I was like, yeah, bro. He was like, I was like, and she about to be the sergeant of the building. He was like, for real, man? I was like, yeah. I was like, so, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna try to be out there just to see what kind of seeds I can catch, you know what I mean? Just to keep niggas on point or whatever the case. He was like, yeah, that's what's up. As soon as he said that, I heard somebody say, I was like, who's that? Because bro in the handicap all the way up top. So I'm deep in the cell, you know what I mean? I was like, who's that? He was like, CO Creature. That's who it is. I was like, that's her. He was like, yeah, bro. That's my words. I'm in the joint. All you heard is, White. Hey, White. She called big last name Jones. White and Jones. I need y'all right now. White and Jones. I need y'all. I was like, what the fuck? He was like, bro, she calling you, bro. I was like, man, what the fuck? He was like, man, let her see coming out here. I was like, man, fuck, man. She go to the end, she turned around, she turned her fat ass around and walked to the joint to hit the button, I guess to tell the lady to call our sales. Cause me or bro didn't come out. Neither one of us didn't answer this. My word, I go to the joint when she turned around, like, bro, jump, boom. I start going down the till. She seen me, she was like, come here, White. Come here, White. I'm walking down the jump like, you creature looking ass, man. Up,
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.